the next Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney.
First there was jubilation, now comes the duty. Having won the Liberal Party's nomination to lead Canada 4 days ago, Mark Carney today is set to be sworn in as the Prime Minister. And he's got his work cut out.
We've got a trade war right now that the U.S. has started. We have a U.S. president basically threatening to annex Canada through economic force. But at the same time as all this is happening, we have a total change in leadership. And within a week, we could be in a federal election campaign.
That's what most Canadians are anticipating, an election. A chance for Carney to get a mandate from the public, not just his party.
We have to look after ourselves.
He's also reportedly set to visit the UK and Europe early next week, maybe trying to garner some distant support to deal with trouble closer to home.
It's going to be very costly for people to take advantage of this country.
But if you think Mark Carney's to-do list is long, you should see his CV. He worked for many years at Goldman Sachs, but in 2004 started working for the Bank of Canada. In 2007 he was made the governor and helped steer the country clear of the worst of the 2008 global financial crisis.
You have to level with people on the scale of problems. It does no good to try to spin your way out of a crisis.
He was hired for the same position at the Bank of England in 2013 with the hope that he'd work a similar kind of magic.
The bank now has other tools other than interest rates that can be used to contain risks in the property and financial sectors.
He oversaw an era of incredibly low interest rates, but had his controversial moments. Candid comments on Brexit earned him a few political enemies.
That's why this is complicated, that's why the government's taking its time, and that's why the negotiations is so important.
He was also outspoken on climate change, and after stepping down in 2020, he made his political colours even more plain. An informal advisor to the man he's replaced, Justin Trudeau. He even waded in on British politics.
Rachel Reeves is a serious economist.
But this is his first real test in the bruising world of frontline politics, and his opponents aren't wasting any time getting stuck in.
The Liberal establishment has installed Justin Trudeau's economic advisor.
He's liable to get beat up a little bit because he's not great at slogans. And he sometimes doesn't boil his concepts down in the most simplistic ways that are easy for all voters to understand. But I suspect that weakness might actually be playing into a bit of a strength for him, where Canadians right now are looking someone with economic gravitas.
You have led us through some of the hardest challenges that this nation has ever faced.
In the latter days of Trudeau, the Liberal Party was way behind in the polls. Carney's nomination has brought them back, but it's the election he's almost certain to call which will be the true test of whether Canada thinks he's up to the job.
They should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Graham Stothard, ITV News.